Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story of what if Naruto mastered Kurama's chakra earlier. What if Naruto gained control over Kyuubi chakra? During the month of training for the finals of the Chunin exams, what if Jiraiya taught more than summoning? Watch as Naruto takes the whole world by storm with near unstoppable power and unmatched potential, but when the chips are down, it's all or nothing against hidden threats and godlike enemies. Will he survive? Before we start, thank you for all the support, it really means a lot to me. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and check the description for the creator of this great fanfic. And also, as I said, I will be changing the story title to What If Naruto Power of the Tailed Beast, so don't forget that. Let's continue. Chapter 20. Raijin vs Kazejin. Woohoo. 20 chapters. So he wants to spar with me. And in return, he will hand over your brother's possessions that he was handed over with. Naruto said as he looked at Hiashi. He could tell that it meant a lot to the Hyuga head, and it would be a great show of force for Konoha. So he says, I don't think I need to explain how frivolous it is to request you do such a thing for me, but as you took this mission as a favor to me, I can only ask you accept this spar and count it as yet another favor from the Hyuga clan. Hiashi stated seriously. He had sent Hinata out of the room she and Naruto were sharing so he could speak with the leaders of the squad. Naruto nodded. Counting the beating he gave Neji to wake him up from his fate spiral, the fact he had been on hand while in the village to watch over Hanabi while Kuma was in the village, and the fact his team was taking this mission at cost, the Hyuga owed the blonde a few favors. What do you think, Shino? Said Aburame was rather put off by the situation, his hive buzzing irregularly as Shino contemplated the idea. It is unwise to fight a cage, even in a spar. However, it would be a good show of force for Konoha if you manage to challenge him. The problem is, there is no way it would not end up getting too heated and leading to hostile combat. On the other hand, you match up very well against his known skills. Your wind manipulation can somewhat negate his fabled lightning armor, your speed and strength are both strengths, allowing you to keep up better than most. And your trump card could seriously change the fight in your favor. His lightning manipulation is higher than my wind manipulation. I doubt I can match his speed or strength, even with my Biju chakra, and I still have doubts that I have refined it enough to use. Naruto muttered, his head in his palms as the low sun glinted off his headband. Hiashi, I need the night to think about it. I will give you my answer in the morning. Hiashi nodded and proceeded to leave, but at the door he turned and looked at Naruto. I'm trusting that these room arrangements will not turn out of favor, and I trust my putting Hinata in your care will not result in a breach of privacy. I trust you to keep my daughter safe and unfertilized while you share this room. And with that, Hiashi left the room. Naruto looked gobsmacked at the insinuation Hiashi had made, and the situation wasn't helped when Shino got up to leave and gave one final piece of advice as he closed the door. Use protection, Taicho, I would rather not kill you for impregnating my former teammate. What the fuck? She doesn't even like me. How am I supposed to sleep with her? Why does everyone assume I'm a pervert? Naruto groaned as he smacked his head against the wall. Oh right, because Kakashi and Pervy Sage were my senseis. Let's not forget the picture of the one you call Kurenai. Where is that now? Or right. Spoke the fox, you should claim the Hyuga kit, I'm sure she would make a strong litter. Arrow Kurama. Naruto-kun, is it safe to come in now? That's it, mount her. Kurama. Iwa Onoki was seething mad as he looked at his son and granddaughter. Their mission was to scout wave and see if they could offer their services. Unsurprisingly, the new governor politely refused. After Konoha freed the island nation, they didn't seem to trust any other nation. It was not part of their mission to fight the son of the Yellow Flash. Something that all the members but Kitsuchi seemed to forget at the sight of the young man. Now one of his best scouting Jonin was dead and the other was in the hospital. So, that's what happened. Onoki demanded dangerously. You risked war because you couldn't hold your temper, and now Konoha has the right to file mission tampering charges as well as an assault charge against us. But Grandpa, he's the son of, Kuritsuchi started before Onoki barked out, I don't care. You didn't follow protocol and just barely avoided insubordination by not standing down, now leave before I'm forced to act upon your mishaps. Kuritsuchi quickly bowed and left the room. I'm going to kill that Namikaze bastard, then Grandpa will be proud of me. Onoki waited till the coast was clear before he set his gaze on Kitsuchi. What are you not telling me? Kitsuchi took a deep breath and cleared his throat. He is very fast and very strong. High Jonin from what I observed, possibly low cage and speed. He has extremely fine control over his body. In his mist, I couldn't hear him move, though I could somewhat feel him out. The fact he can move so well suggests Anbu training, but I have nothing to prove that. His chakra capacity exceeds anything I have felt before. It's like a biju. You said he didn't use ninjutsu. Onoki said. Other than the Kurigakure, he didn't. He seems incredibly adept at the toad style, amphibian cloak. Obviously the boy has trained under Jiraiya, but his genjutsu prowess is higher than Kushimaru. The cloaking jutsu and the false surroundings jutsu he used were so well hidden I didn't even feel them until he broke them. I believe he has spent time under Kurenai Yuhi. Kitsuchi said, ignorant of the fact that Naruto's absolute worst area was genjutsu. I see. And he said that they wouldn't press charges if we let this lie. Questioned Onoki. Then, for now, we will overlook the death of our ninja to prevent war. Find Kuritsuchi and inform her she is not to discuss the mission with anyone. We need to update our bingo book. Konoha, what is the meaning of this, Hiruzen? Why have we been in handcuffs for these past hours? Homura demanded as he shook his shackles at the Hokage, anger and some fear evident in his eyes. Sarutobi looked to the corner of the room. Danzo had just returned with a folder in his lone functioning hand as he handed it to Sarutobi. The look on Danzo's face was telling. For the first time in a very long time, Danzo was visibly enraged. Homura, Kaharu, I hold in my hand a report that shows over the last 5 years, only one civilian-born ninja has passed the final genin exam. I don't need to tell you what a problem this is. The room instantly filled with killing intent from both Hiruzen and Danzo. Why are your signatures on the document in that folder? The document that unlawfully changed the standards of our ninja academy, removing half of the material and replacing it with useless classes and information. Danzo demanded, his killing intent crushing down on the two. The Uchiha massacre caused much panic. To keep younger ninja in line, we thought it was better they stay weak until the Jonin sensei could control them. Homura stated calmly, a smug look on his face. You altered the very fabric of the academy to weaken our ninja. That is treason. And you will be put before the ninja council on trial. You will either die in prison or by my hands. Hiruzen yelled as he stood from his desk. You call us traitors. Danzo has done more to undermine this village more than any negative effects that bill ever had. Kaharu sniffed, her nose turned up. Danzo has done nothing but improve and fight for the well-being of this village. Sarutobi retorted. You fool, we made Konoha stronger. Look at the ninja that are in those classes, we weeded out the weak and harbored the strong. Kaharu shouted. Hiruzen, what we did was for the best, do you not see that now? This is the strongest batch of genin we have had in the last 15 years, 5 genin made it to the finals of the Chunin exam. Anbu, get them out of my sight, put them in the hole. They are to be given the minimum amount of food and water to keep them alive until their trial. Hiruzen ordered, his glare casting his evident anger on them. The Anbu nodded and disappeared with the 2 elders. We will need to explain this to the council, they are not going to make it to trial. They retired. Sarutobi picked up and moved to southern fire country to live out retirement. Danzo said with a smirk. I will be going over their notes to ensure a safe travel. Ah, what a life. I trust you can make sure they get their belongings. Sarutobi asked, understanding what Danzo was insinuating. You focus on their replacements, Hiruzen, I will erase them. Stated Danzo, his lone eye scanning the Hokage. Do not choose me, we need the younger generations to take the steps in ensuring their future. And if I do choose you, after you sided with me following your abduction attempt on Naruto, I can't say I know of a more suitable advisor. Stated Hiruzen jokingly. You just said his name. Stated Danzo with a grin. Good luck, Hiruzen, I shall return after the job is done. Unknown location. So, Itachi, how is your illness? Kisame asked while eating the cooked meat that Itachi had made around their campfire. It is still progressing, but the medication I acquire is working well to slow it down. Stated Itachi. It works in my favor that Kisame knew about my ailment, now he will think I am still weakened should we ever fight. Zetsu, you may come out. How you always know we are here, I will never understand. Stated the black half of the plant person. It's because he has the Sharingan. Answered the white half. What do you want, Zetsu? Itachi asked as he wiped his mouth with a napkin, secretly eating a chunk of Pocky. Leader Sama has found out that the Nanabi is now in Konoha's hands. Taki handed her over. You two have been reassigned. Kisame, your target is now the Nanabi, Itachi still has Kyuubi. Stated the Zetsu. Until then, you are to gain bounties and collect money. Nanabi huh. Good. Even more chakra for my sword. Grinned Kisame. And the Kyuubi brat is getting strong, I'd love to fight him. Very well, you may leave if that is all, Zetsu. Itachi calmly replied. I hope to keep you safe, Naruto, but we may have to fight soon. I hope you are strong enough to defeat us. If only you had Sasuke by your side, you would have a counter to Toba's Sharingan. Kumo, Naruto-kun, make me yours, I've always loved you. Hinata purred with lust in her eyes as she started to disrobe. I need you, I want you. Naruto couldn't believe his eyes. Hinata Hyuga, the heir of the Hyuga clan, basically the princess of Konoha, want him in every way. Naruto, use the Schwartz. Commanded a deep voice next to Naruto, startling the blonde. He turned to see a half-Jiraiya, half-toad man with green skin and yellow eyes, squatting on his bed. The Jiraiya toad raised his toad fist and shook it at the blonde. Use it. Pervy sage toad. The hell is going on? Get out of here. Shouted Naruto, only for the toad Jiraiya to pounce at Hinata, who suddenly transformed into a Shino-like giant bug. Shino. Shino bug. I am a mug. Half man, half bug. I'm your best friend. Shino replied, only to receive a brutal fist strike to the back, causing Bug Shino to explode, covering Naruto and the room in beautiful red flower petals as red candles appear around the room. Naruto-kun, I'm going to make you feel good, really good. Smiled Hinata as her eyes turned to him and her hand reached toward his. Ah! Shouted Naruto as he sat up in bed. Confused, he looked around, seeing the sleeping form of Hinata in the next bed over, no Shino bug flower petals all over the place and no Jiraiya toad in sight. Thank God, that was all a dream. Naruto got out of the bed and headed to the bathroom, walking past Hinata as he slipped into the door and turned the light on, closing the door behind him. Looking into the mirror he watched his own reflection look back at him. Of course it was a dream, but still, usually when I have those dreams they don't make my heart race like this. Maybe it was the toad man that startled you. He reminded me of something, though I'm not sure what. Not that, Baka Fox. Naruto growled, only to get a growl in return. Why is my heart in my throat all of a sudden, even when I had dreams like that? I rather enjoyed the Kurenai dream. I wonder if humans can really be that flexible, and the one with the blonde girl, Ino was it. She took you completely into her mouth. I think your hair tickled her nose. Even when I had those dreams, my heart never raced like that. Admitted Naruto. What changed? The subject of the dream changed. Kit, now leave me be. I have to rest up before you get your ass handed to you by the meathead tomorrow. Healing you will not be enjoyable. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Mumbled Naruto as he cut the mental connection. The subject. Why would it be any different? Is there something different about Hinata? Suna. So it's settled then. Temari is to be wed to a Konoha ninja of her choosing to solidify the alliance between us. Baki said in a strained voice. Gaara is going to kill us. He has become quite attached to her since the Konoha invasion. It's for the best, and Temari agreed to it, though we will need a new table. Chio said as she looked down at the caved-in conference table that Temari put her battle fan through. Still, I wonder who the girl has in mind. She seemed to calm down rather quickly when she was told it was her choice. I believe it is the Nara who bested her in the Chunin exams. The last 2 trips to Konoha they have been spending a fair amount of time together. Stated Baki. It would work out nicely, the Nara are very connected and respected. To think, the last time Suna proposed a marriage contract it was to Uzu. Reminded an elder member of the council. Let's hope it doesn't turn out like that. 6 hours later, Kumo. Most people felt anxious before a fight. Veterans came to like the feeling, their adrenaline rushing and the excitement of a new challenge. Naruto, however, had neither of those feelings. As he looked across the training ground to see none other than the Yondaime Raikage now named fastest man alive, Naruto was scared. However, unlike most people, Naruto was not crippled by fear. He had grown up with the feeling. Fear made Naruto think faster, move quicker and hit harder. Just what he needed to fight, who many considered, the world's strongest ninja. Off to the side of the clearing stood Hiyashi, Hinata and Hanabi, surrounded by the remainder of Team 1. B and Yugito were off to the side of them, as well as Darui, and C to the other side of the Konoha group was Team Samui. How do you think he will do? Yugito asked. Can you tell how strong he is? B. Strong and fast, Miss 2, with skill and smarts to boot, but Big Bro is stronger and faster, and more experienced. Big Bro will win, but with a lot of variance. B rapped in answer. He will be lucky if he survives the first hit. He's scrawny, and even if he can use that sword like they say, Asama will outclass him. C declared. Don't count him out yet. You are letting your biased opinion skew the facts. Darui retorted, getting a dirty look from C, and what facts would those be? He's 14 and already an A-rank ninja, he has 3 chakra affinities, and he already has fought an S-rank ninja twice and walked away. It may as well be Kakashi Hatake out there. With Team 1, it was another story. Why would he fight the Raikage? Doesn't he know his betters? There is no way he can take a cage. Hanabi ranted. It is unwise to doubt Taicho. Especially if he goes all out. He could very well stalemate the Raikage. Shino said calmly. Yay, last week he sparred with both Guy and Asuma and stood toe-to-toe with them. I wouldn't doubt him. Choji said in agreement. Let's get this started. I don't like waiting. A yelled as he removed his cage robes and tossed them to Darui. Naruto took Kubikiribocho off his back and sealed it into his palm before removing his cloak, revealing he had no shirt on under his Jonin vest. A nod was all Naruto had time for before the Raikage was on him. Barely avoiding a lariat that would have taken his head off, Naruto knew that taijutsu was not the right choice to fight the Raikage, and jumped back, forcing the Raikage to pursue. Doden. Great Earth Defense. Shouted Naruto as he sped through hand signs. Futon. Will of the Wind God. Just as soon as the wall was sprouted, a charged through it, blowing through it like it was tissue paper. Naruto took aim and fired a large concentrated blast of air at the Raikage, stopping him in his tracks as he channeled chakra to his feet and stood strong against the wind. Futon. Infinite vacuum blades. Out of Naruto's mouth came thousands of small blades of wind, all converging on the Raikage, who had just enough time to create his fabled lightning armor. A once again charged, heading straight through the blades of wind with his far superior lightning manipulation. Lariat. 10 clone cut. Unsealing his sword and barely ducking another clothesline, 10 Narutos appeared with wind-infused Kubikiribochos, each taking a slash at the Raikage, who grit his teeth as he forced them off with a blast of lightning chakra, dispelling the clones before turning and charging the real Naruto. Lariat. He connected, sending Naruto flying through the grand earth wall he had created just seconds ago. That's more like it. Show me what you can really do, boy. Behind the wall, Naruto began a long string of hand seals. You want it? Futon. Grand Vacuum Dragon. A giant dragon, rivaling the size of the Kyuubi, erupted from Naruto's mouth and sped toward the Raikage, piercing the wall and turning it to dust as it seemed to gain speed. Only for the Raikage to dodge and once again charge Naruto before getting clipped by the tail of the dragon, but not before he replaced himself with a log. That vacuum dragon. That is Danzo's jutsu. It disintegrates everything it touches. Said as his lightning armor flared, a grin on his face. I'm tired of this warm-up. Naruto erupted in his Kurama cloak, instantly increasing to 50% flow rate as his features became outlined in black and seals became visible on his torso. Remember, Kit, you can only handle 55% safely, any more and you will start to break down. Futon. Pressure wave. Shouted Naruto before discreetly making more hand seals. Futon Genjutsu. Precision air pressure. Stood strong against the A-rank wind jutsu before his eyes widened and he fell to his knees clutching his ears in hopes of ridding the pain from what he assumed was damage from the pressure wave, not knowing it was the second attack the blonde had sent. Naruto was in front of A, fist cocked back as he threw a punch at the man's solar plexus. A rolled on his knees, dodging quickly and sent a kick at the back of the blonde, who spun and caught the leg, lifting up and slamming him into the ground twice before A's free leg met the side of Naruto's head, sending the blonde flying while the Raikage got back on his feet. Lariat. Naruto caught himself and intercepted A with a shoulder check to the Raikage's ribs. Body crusher. Another Naruto appeared behind A and used the momentum to slam into the back of the Raikage, who let out a gasp as he was sandwiched. The Raikage took advantage, grabbing Naruto by the legs and flipping him around until he held him high above his head. Liger Bomb. Drove the helpless Naruto into the ground back first, creating a crater that covered a vast area beyond the impact site, the shockwave clearing the pain from A's ears. The Naruto that had been put into the ground popped as smoke filled the area. A raised his arm above his head, blocking a chop by the Kubikiribocho, that would have carved him in half, with his gauntlets. Spinning around he swung his other fist into Naruto's side, getting another poof as the blonde once again turned to smoke. Futon. Pressure damage. A was once again caught between wind attacks, crushing in on the Raikage with 2S rank wind jutsu. Both Narutos peeled off an unsealed Kubikiribocho, charging A with a slash, one high, one low. A recovered and escaped before the giant cleavers separated him. The clone latched onto A and anchored himself to the ground with chakra, and Naruto locked eyes with A, Biju skill, twin element manipulation, shrapnel vacuum bombs. Naruto raised his hand to his mouth and began spitting out vacuum bombs with large rocks in them at extreme speeds. Threw off the clone and avoided being hit by the speeding jutsu, only to be caught in an explosion field that covered most of the training grounds. Futon. Great breakthrough. As Naruto blew away the smoke and debris, everyone saw that the Raikage stood in the middle of an upturned battlefield, several cuts adorning his skin from wind chakra that had made it through his armor, large shards of rocks still falling from the sky. A once again locked eyes with the blonde, respect evident for the young man that made him bleed. The gaze was matched by Naruto, who was amazed the Raikage had repeatedly escaped some of his best attacks with such little damage. Naruto only had about half of his chakra left, and had been using Kurama's for a large portion of this fight, but continued A and S rank ninjutsu plus boosting his body with chakra to keep up with A had drained him. Naruto realized that he was outclassed in every way. From taijutsu to ninjutsu there was nothing that Naruto was willing to use that would match the Raikage in any meaningful way. A knew this as well. Naruto had a lot more in the tank, but short of an assassination technique, the boy didn't have anything left to turn this fight in his favor. One more attack. Naruto nodded. If he wanted to test his true strength, now was the time. Rasengans forming in both hands before expanding with wind chakra, A's armor growing brighter and cracking as he raised it to full power. Lariat. Rasengan. Boom. Naruto. Raikage-sama. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like for more what ifs and support the author. See you guys in the next video.